Hello, this is Anne. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly intuitive art and spirit messages video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. If this is your first time joining me, every week I make an original intuitive art piece. I meditate and tune into the collective energies for the week ahead through that art piece and meditation. And I relay my understanding of the energies collectively here on earth for the upcoming week, as well as messages and guidance from higher consciousness as I tune in. So this is for the week of May 24th, 2020. Before I get to this week's messages video, I just wanted to share an experience I had with an archangel. I tune into higher consciousness and what archangel comes out for each week. And so a few days ago, I had an archangel experience. I was watching a video my friend sent me about heart chakra healing and the different energy structures in the heart chakra. I had meditated on healing and I was giving healing that energy, but also in one meditation specifically asking to receive a healing and specifically calling on angelic healing among other divine consciousness and help, and specifically for my wrist. I had a bit of an injury. That night I had this very vivid dream, and it wasn't a real dream. It wasn't a dream. It was more than a dream. It was a special dream that some energetic encounter happened with higher consciousness. I was sitting in my living room and I was talking to my friend on the phone in the dream, and all of a sudden some force overtook me, and I almost went paralyzed, and I started, but it wasn't unpleasant. It wasn't scary. It was just different. And I started singing this really low pitched tone, and I felt like this shift in my heart, this release from something in my heart, and this release of pressure as I was singing this very low pitched tone. And I wasn't singing it. It was like something within me was sort of automatically creating this low tone. And my friend was on the phone with me, and I was thinking it was her sending me healing, and I sent her some healing energy. And when I woke up, and it was very intense, and I could feel like a real physical sensation in my chest. When I woke up, I tuned in and meditated on what had just happened, and I felt strongly that I'd had an angelic healing, and I heard the sound A-N, Anne, and so I was thinking Anael, Sandalphon, and I tuned in more, and I did really feel Sandalphon. And I pulled a card, and Sandalphon came out. So I'm really pretty sure it was Sandalphon who was bestowing this healing upon me. And I did a little bit of reading about this archangel, who was originally the prophet Elijah, according to lore, and was transformed into the archangel Sandalphon, and is associated with music and sending prayers to heaven, escorting humans' prayers to heaven. And so it was this beautiful experience I had with this healing music. And my friend actually told me that she's a theta healer, that is a technique in theta healing, is to emit these low frequency tones. So even though I was asking for a healing of my wrist and just, other healing and general healing, the angels knew where to go, and I'm very grateful for that experience with Archangel Sandalphon. So I just thought I'd share that, and I hope you have beautiful experiences like that yourself. I'm sure some of the viewers watching today have, and if you haven't, you can by just calling upon angels and whatever higher consciousness is resonating with you. There's a lot of different spirit helpers and different ways to understand deity and divinity, but for me, angels are a big part of that. So I just thought I'd share. I just had this spontaneous healing, and it was really special. So So let's switch over to the intuitive art and messages for this upcoming week, shall we? So here are the messages. This is the intuitive art and spirit messages for the week of May 24th, 2020. I'm excited to share this with you. I've got the intuitive art piece that I just made. And yes, it's still taped to this clipboard because that's how I do. So this week, a lot happening. COVID-19 is still in the process of unfolding in the world and in the United States where I live. We've got a new moon on Friday, the Friday before this video drops, but the Friday before this video is the Gemini new moon, and it's a great time for starting new projects. It's a great time for planning ideas. It's a great time for focusing on those beautiful Gemini parts of life, reading and writing and music, communication, anything having to do with ideas and mental energy, short trips, learning, mental stimulation, inspiration. So this week I feel like so there's the new moon energy happening, and I want to come back to that, but this week when I tapped into the collective energy, I did feel like there's still a lot of frustration. There's different states are opening in different phases of the lifting of restrictions of the shutdown and quarantine, but there's still a lot of frustration. I feel like there's a lot of awareness of entropy and things that have gotten, entropy is getting smaller. Entropy is the destructive process. It's the process of decline, a natural part of universal cycles. But I feel like people are more aware of that which is getting smaller and lacking. People are more aware of their desires. There's actually a lot of changes and energy about taking down old structures, I feel, this week. Even though there's the new moon, there's a lot of awareness of what has been that maybe is no longer as relevant or effective. A lot of companies are looking at going more online, using more virtual and telecommuting resources. So but just in general, with all of this turmoil, there's a lot of change in the air, and there's a lot of, I think, assessing what structures in general are, well, it's time to let go, for good or bad. There's a lot of also ideas and juice in the air, I feel like, and I feel like that relates to the Gemini energy, but there's a lot of mental energy happening. And so this week in the intuitive art piece, so that's the collective energy as I was tuning in. The art piece, is expressing some feline energy this week. As you can see, a feline being came out, and it feels to me like a feline star being. Different people have different names for these. One is Lyran. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, from the Lyra or Lyra constellation, which sounds a lot like lion. And there might be something to that etymology. Honestly, I'm not sure. But there are higher consciousness beings, and some people have had experiences with these feline beings. They are not cats like the cats on Earth, although some people believe there is some sort of spiritual relationship. They are highly evolved spiritual beings in another dimension. And so the feline energy, and especially the feline star being energy, came out in this week's art piece. This is a puma or mountain lion over in the lower right corner, and then the feline star being on the left. The message I feel like is coming out, and the guidance that's coming out with these higher consciousness beings, is get out, try and get out, discover new things, There's more of a desire to add to one's life right now. It's a good week to break free. It's a good week to ask yourself, what new things do I want to create? How do I want to break free? How can I take a leap, like the puma? Take a leap, make a new start. Don't be afraid to think new thoughts, create new ideas. Is one piece of advice I wrote down, that guidance that I wrote down that's coming through. Like the puma leaps and pounces on her prey as part of the natural cycle here on Earth. Don't be afraid to pounce on what you want, to try something new. Puma, the mountain lion, that totem is about power and courage and strength. So what do I want the courage to do? How can I be more confident? How can I believe in myself more? And I feel like the energy that's coming through is here to assist us. This higher consciousness energy is here to assist us with new endeavors, and especially something we've begun that we need a little bit of help getting to the next level. This is a good week to look at, okay, I've begun something. It's a good week to just, start something in general with the new moon, but it's also a good week to, assess with the new moon. Okay, I've begun something, but I want to take it to the next level. How can I do that? And calling upon, praying, meditating, calling upon your higher power and guides and spirit helpers and consciousness. That can be, one source of support and resource for helping you take it to the next level. So, so don't be afraid to ask yourself what you want to start, or what you've started that you want to take to the next level, and to try something new this week, to brainstorm some new ideas, to get out, move that energy, get out of the rut, try something new. If the restrictions are being lifted in your area, you might have the opportunity to physically go out more and physically see people more, depending on your comfort level and situation, and if you feel safe, to get that energy moving a little bit again. There's also a focus on, literary and reading and mental, creative, musical ideas this week. So the archangel I felt that came out for this week when I tuned in is, well, y'all, it's Archangel Azrael. Archangel Azrael is the angel that helps with death, bereavement, helping folks cross over, helping humans cross over at the time of death to the other side. This angel is helping with people who are dealing with physical death in their family, in their circle, and certainly that's on everyone's mind with COVID and the daily death rate. If you are experiencing some bereavement, someone you know or love has crossed over, Archangel Azrael is a very comforting, healing angel to call upon in that instance. There's also just a feeling of change in the air. What change is happening in your life right now? And death is a symbolic change. So you can call upon help and angelic guidance, and the guidance of your own higher self and divinity from within, divinity that connects us all. Even if there's no literal death, if there's just changes happening and you need some help and support and guidance with how to cope. So the messages that I wrote down from Archangel Azrael are: what is needed is to travel through this world without holding on. Changes are happening in this world. It is a time of unrest. Don't despair. Rejoice in the life everlasting. Spirits are held in grace on the other side. Allow changes to unfold and be comforted by Spirit. So as you allow the changes to unfold and harmonize yourself with the natural cycle of change, you're in a better position to receive help. And the grief process is different for everyone. Sometimes it takes a long time to let go, and that's natural. And with symbolic death as well, if any kind of loss or change, sometimes it takes a while to adjust, but as we call upon our, the higher consciousness, angels, God, Goddess, Spirit, Buddha, Jesus, all around us, the universe, the divine universe, we can get the help and support to really support us, to really aid us as we're going through that journey. So, in summation, don't be afraid to take that leap. Don't be afraid to try something new, to think of some new ideas, to get out, get the energy moving. Gemini is a great time for thinking in music and communication and technology. Know that you are comforted, and any changes or loss that you're dealing with, you have divine support right here, right here. It's closer than you think. And so that about sums it up for this week, May 24th, 2020. Thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you connected with me in this video. I so appreciate our time together. And if you liked the video, thanks for liking it. If you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you if you've had any angelic experiences or intuitive art. If you want to receive my videos weekly, you got to press that subscribe button. So this has been Anne coming to you on my channel for your weekly intuitive art and spirit messages video. I hope you have a blessed week. I do use this as a prayer portal. I focus on the image as I'm praying for just general everyone here on earth and the earth herself. And you're welcome to join me in using this as a prayer focus. I hope you have a blessed week. Thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to connecting at a future video. Namaste.